All right, so big question I'm going to answer today is, where would I live if I were moving to Tampa, Florida? So if you're looking to move to Tampa, Florida, you might be Googling, moving to Tampa, Florida, or you might be on YouTube like this, looking at different spots to live and finding out the Tampa Bay area is huge and there are so many communities and areas to live that it's kind of confusing. So the other day when somebody spun it around on me and asked me, where would I live if I were moving to Tampa, Florida? Well, I paused because it was somewhat of a loaded answer, and that answer changes based on your lifestyle and your wants and needs. See, I've personally lived in Westchase and Carrollwood in my younger years. Then I've also lived in 14 acres in Pasco County. And in my adult years, I bought a beautiful home in Cheval and Lutz. And I've had 3 homes in the city. So as an adult, my wants and needs changed, and I had to prioritize where I lived to match my lifestyle. As I sifted through my thoughts, the light bulb then went off. This would be a really good video to share with some of you. And so today I'm planning to discuss a few different areas that I think would be good options to live depending on the different scenarios, and let's see if any of these relate to you. Okay, so one scenario that comes up from time to time is, where would you live if you traveled often for work and need to live within a reasonable drive to the airport? Well, anywhere in the city like South Tampa, etc. would be an easy choice, but let's talk about 2 premier communities that are under 20-minute drive. Looking at the location of the airport, it's always easy to follow the Veterans Expressway north because it'll actually drop you off right in front of the terminals. Now, knowing that, I think Westchase is a great starting point for us. Westchase always brings back great memories because my mom was one of the first to build a home here back in the early 90s. And growing up here, I played in the parks, I learned how to golf, and I would train for triathlons on my road bike and just putting in tons of hours on these sidewalks. So Westchase could be considered the ultimate master plan community because it's sprawled across 2,000 acres with over 3,000 homes featuring 30+ distinct neighborhoods. Now, I never get over how manicured it always looks with the tree-lined streets and the sidewalks that wind past the parks and the neighborhoods. There's a swim and tennis center and one of the best golf clubs. In addition, there's multiple parks and sports fields, and to cap it off, check out this little village area that's perfect to grab a morning coffee or an early dinner. Now, if you're familiar with Tampa homes in the 90s, there wasn't a ton of varieties and styles, but Carrollwood was built in the 60s and 70s, and there's nothing cookie cutter about this area. Carrollwood was considered one of Tampa's first true suburbs, and my mom recently made the move from Westchase to Carrollwood Village about 5 years ago. Now, she absolutely loves it here, and when my kids visit, they love heading down to the new Carrollwood Village Park. The greater Carrollwood area is split into 2 sections, Original Carrollwood and Carrollwood Village, and it's known for its charming neighborhoods and the mature oak trees that line the streets. In Original Carrollwood, the ski lake and white sand beach is the big attraction, while the golf course, clubhouse, and parks are what Carrollwood Village is most known for. Both of these neighborhoods are time-tested, award-winning communities in the Tampa area. And the location, well, it almost can't be beat if you want to live just outside the city. But what if you want a newer built home and good schools is high on your wants list? Well, you only have to go about 10 minutes further north on the Veterans Expressway to get that. Whenever someone mentions, well, new homes, I automatically think, let's look at the suburbs. And then you combine that with A and B rated schools, and it doesn't get more consistent than Pasco County. So on the western side of Pasco, Odessa, Florida is a smaller, quieter area that is really starting to get a lot of attention. It was always known for having homes with a little more space, possibly even acreage or lakefront living like the estate homes on Lake Keystone. But what's really put Odessa on the map in recent years were new communities like the award-winning Starkey Ranch or nearby Astoria. These new neighborhoods, they've really transformed the area, attracting new schools and businesses, resulting in some of the highest appreciation in home values over the last year. Now, if you like this location, but the woodsy feel isn't exactly your style, just east are the 2 suburbs of Lutz and Land O'Lakes to change things up a bit. Bexley and Connerton in Land O'Lakes are 2 popular communities similar to Starkey Ranch if you like the newer homes. And if you prefer a more well-established community with more of a luxury feel, Cheval is the premier community in Lutz. Land O'Lakes has a nice mix of A and B rated schools, but by far, Lutz seems to be the popular option in recent years with a trifecta of schools leading into Steinbrenner High School. All of these locations would work well for you if you are looking to live in a nice area with access to the airport, but what if it wasn't important? What if easy access to downtown Tampa or possibly near the University of South Florida was important? We are known for our medical sector, so a commute into the city or near the university can be common. If this is the case for you, Temple Terrace or New Tampa might be an option for you, but Wesley Chapel, it's just north of Tampa, right off Interstate 75, and it's the hottest suburb in Tampa right now. So let's take a look at that. Wesley Chapel, by far, the hottest suburb in Tampa, and it's because it has the highest concentration of shopping, restaurants, and entertainment. It also has a nice variety of new community developments popping up that are unique and they really stand out. The Epperson community is a great example of this. It's a massive master plan community built around the first 7.5-acre man-made crystal lagoon in the country. Imagine having this in your backyard. And it doesn't stop there because the area has great schools, and with 2 new hospital campuses, the area seems to be booming. Now, keep this in mind, Wesley Chapel is right off of 75, so it's easy to get into the city in about 30 minutes or so. But if your plan is to just be near water or the beaches or even the airport for that matter, it is on the opposite corner of Tampa, so it adds a little bit of a drive for you. Now, this is a great place for me to add some advice. I get a lot of people moving here wanting to live close to the beach, but it's important to prioritize your daily and weekly activities. So let me give you an example. My kids, they love to go to the beach, and we go at least once a month, but my daughter's soccer is in the city, and my wife's job, in the city. We also enjoy date nights on the Riverwalk, and at the drop of a dime, we like to visit family in the area. So since we do this more routinely, the beach becomes less of a priority for us. We can get to the beach in like 45 minutes, but we're now 5 to 10 minutes away from everything we do frequently. Similar to most locals, we don't live at the beach. Rather, we get a beach place for a weekend or even a week at a time, and then we can totally unwind. However, there is a lid for every pot. And let's say that you don't have to commute to the specific downtown office, or you aren't tied to one specific location, and the beach is a priority, or at least you really want to be near the beach. Well, where should you live then? All right, first off, we have over 10 beaches lining the Gulf, and it's actually easy to find a beach place to call home, budget permitting, of course. But outside of that, let's talk about a few areas that will get you living closer to the sand. And while I have your attention, I noticed a few of you haven't subscribed to my channel, so take a second and subscribe so you don't miss any of our new content. And if you're looking to move to the Tampa Bay area, we are licensed realtors, so please reach out to us because my team and I would love to help you and your family find your next home. Dunedin's a popular town with easy access to Honeymoon Island State Park, which has a great beach. Or if you like boating, my favorite is to relax at the sandbar near the North Enclosed Island because the water is absolutely stunning. Dunedin is a quaint and quiet area with a really nice, charming downtown Main Street that I think you'll love too. Now, just north of that, Palm Harbor is a family-friendly option, pretty decent schools too. So you'll find some of the homes have a little more space in between them with nice yards if you want to just stretch out a bit. Now, on the southern side, St. Pete has some of the best beaches, and while there are some nice pocket areas to live closer to the beach side, I prefer the bay side near the downtown area because it has a ton of action, giving you a city vibe only 15 to 20 minutes from the beach. So starting at the new St. Pete Pier, you can start to work your way north and find some really nice pocket neighborhoods like the historic Old Northeast, Snell Isle, and Short Acres, just to name a few. I'm sweating here. I'm sweating to get this video out. Do you see this? My mascara's gonna run. Okay, let's switch gears here again. Let me give you another scenario. What if you like the suburbs, but you really aren't a big master plan community type person? What if you don't mind an older home or an older area and you want to live closer to the city because you like all that city has to offer, you like all the action? Well, I'm with you on this category. After living in Cheval and figuring out how much time I spent in the city for various reasons, it no longer made sense for me to live there. So let's talk about a few of those neighborhoods. South Tampa. It's between Kennedy and MacDill Air Force Base, and it's by far the most popular and most expensive real estate in Tampa. South Tampa is made up of over 20 neighborhoods that all have their own personalities. This area is also known for its A-rated schools leading into Plant High School, but it also has the highest concentration of boutique restaurants and shopping in the city, which, hey, that's nice. If you refer to niche.com for the best neighborhoods in Tampa, Hyde Park tops the list, followed by the Bayshore area, Beach Park, and batting cleanup, not technically in South Tampa, is the downtown area. Now, when somebody asks me what are the most walkable areas to live in downtown, When someone asks me, what are the most walkable areas to live in Tampa? Well, downtown has recently climbed to the top of that list. Downtown used to be flooded with professionals working a 9 to 5, and it turned into pretty much a ghost town in the evening, but now it's one of the most happening places to be in the city, with condo high-rises, Sparkman's Wharf, Channelside, Water Street, and the Riverwalk all pitching in to make it an electric place to live. Now, let's talk about acreage. Not everybody wants the city or the master plan communities with an HOA, so just know, I've got you covered there too. You can actually find homes with some land in any of our suburbs surrounding the city, and I would start your search north of Tampa in Pasco County, or you can actually start to look southeast from Thonotosassa all the way down to Parrish, Florida. Depending on how rural you want it, you just have to keep going outwards from the city, but land can definitely be found within about 45 minutes from the center of the city. Now, since I mentioned the southeastern suburbs, some of these areas like Riverview and Brandon were always known for having some really affordable options as a suburb near Tampa, but as they have been built out, areas like Apollo Beach, Waimama, Ruskin, Palmetto, and Parrish have started to take their place as popular options if you want a newer community with a tad more affordability. Also, if you like this area more than the northern suburbs, Lithia, Florida is a suburb that is almost a combination of Odessa and Lutz. It has a rural, woodsy feel, but it also has the award-winning Fishhawk Ranch community and some of the top-rated schools in the entire Tampa Bay area. So if schools are important, you might want to explore this area also. Now, like I said, there are so many places to live and so many lifestyle choices to be made living in Tampa. It's versatile and you can have everything from beaches to barns within 45 minutes from each other. So if you plan to move to the Tampa Bay area, real estate, that's our bread and butter. See that info on the screen? Reach out to us because my team and I would love to help you and your family find your next homes. Now, till that next video, I'll catch you later. Country road, take me home.